I'll be
I
going.
hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
See... Oh, hang on a minute. I didn't notice he'd actually used a golden statue as a model. This was a person once, you know. I think. You mind if I just have a peek? Dyes for colouring clothing. These appear to have been extracted from plants and insects. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, I can sneak. No, I'm not going to steal. I was just having a look. I hear hammering away. Sinner.
Make sure you stay away from that empty shrine. It's going to collapse at any moment.
Empty shrine. Over there? Who are you?
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death. I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
Oh. Well, I kind of do want to know your actual name, though. Look, I've got to ask. I noticed there's graffiti outside. Someone thinks you're a sinner.
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Oh. I see.
And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of.
I
Needless
bet.
to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you can come down here and be open now.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Well, there are other foreigners here. Perhaps it was a different, somebody who's not a Roman that wrote it. Do you have any idea who's writing that graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite the collection of handwritten notes too. The
Really?
strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Oh, well, I'm sure it'll sort itself out. It doesn't seem like it will. I'm going to look into this harassment for you.
What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
I'll see what I can do. It's a pleasure to meet you too. I wouldn't really describe myself as selfless, though. I don't know, the people treading down on others is my trigger. What's your story then? You kind of told me a little bit already, but How did you come here?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people. That kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
Oh, I mean, you said that so slyly now that you know I want to ask. Tell me about the city's history. Yeah, what do you know about the history of this place?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all.
No.
It's Greek.
Greek? Isn't it common for Romans to copy Greek art and architecture? Isn't there like some relation there?
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
Now, Georgius, he was telling me that the collective punishment rule was very similar to how Greek mythology works, where, you know, the innocent will be punished for the actions of the guilty. Tell me about the city's architecture then. You say it's mostly Roman.
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake, and allows us to fish and farm.
So, if they bring water into the city, we could use them to escape, perhaps. Well, I gotta say, I do find aqueducts actually quite fascinating. They are truly marvels of engineering for the time.
Hey, not so loud.
Oh.
Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Alright, sorry. The Georgius told me that as well. But the temple up on the bluff. You say it's Greek?
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
Isn't that where Navia went, though? Let's talk about something else. Well, who are you going to vote for? I'm going to ask.
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Why is there anything I can do to change that? Why? I don't really have a stake in this election, other than Malleolus seems like a bit of a dodgy character.
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's the only option I could think of. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god. but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called God doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown God doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I'm pretty sure I do, yeah.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
I hear you. So it might not be a god, but maybe it's some kind of human design originally then. And it can't be omnipotent, or omnipresent rather, because if somebody's been poisoned, that's murder. And, you know, the Golden Rule hasn't been enacted, as far as I'm aware. I think we'd have known about it.
I'm glad. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Give me a lot to think about on. We've already talked about getting out through the cisterns here. I better
Nice
get going.
to talk to you.
And you. I'm just going to have a look in your workshop. It's all quite fascinating seeing all this architecture. I apparently remember a lot about my history lessons. I'm able to recreate such a elaborate delusion. You know, as I'm probably still in that river with a head injury. Virgil, do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? Oh. Oh, the ink's gone through the page. Unless that's another one. I know who you are, what you want. Turn away from this path before we all suffer for your sins. See, if he's telling me the truth, that, you know, he thinks it's just because... He's having a peek. They may not see you yet, but I want you to know. I see you. Just having a read. Roman fire shovel made of bronze. Smells like ash. Interesting. So, are we talking about this temple out here? The Greek one. The architecture does seem...
Isn't the great temple majestic?
It is. Hello.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Oh. What's your story then?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually,
You seemed very
however,
taken
you
back.
wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Well... What should I have done? Apparently in the far corners of my mind, I should apparently know this.
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office.
Okay, I definitely
By
don't
which
have time to do that.
You would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly.
Well-
But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is.
Then why did
So,
you bring
let's
this up?
do it your way.
Okay.
You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
I'm glad you're into it. Then... Well, how did you end up here? That's what I want to know.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
You avoided the question. A young woman named Karen dragged me out of the river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed
It's an older name, but it's not that uncommon where I'm from.
Older. I see. I wonder if... No.
No, go on. What were you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
Oh. Well, you're being a bit coy. I know where this is leading. This is the whole, oh, we floated down the river, we woke up, we got sent inside here.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
To Livia? The woman... Is that a poison lady? I'm terrible with names.
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes.
No,
and
that
cutting
was a
hair.
different lady.
She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern.
Bloodless
Look,
shadows?
it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
I'll certainly do my best.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Well, I have been asking people about how they wound up here already.
Did you notice anything? A pattern?
I mean, I do. That we all washed up down the river, but apparently I can't tell you that
Oh,
yet.
Well then, keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Bloodless shadows, though. I'll just ask to be sure. Do you know a way out of here?
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
What do you make of this golden rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Oh, is there a short version?
I suppose so. Jupiter and Mercury put a town to the test by disguising themselves as vagrants and asking for shelter there. Everyone turned them away and failed that test, except for an old couple named Baucis and Philemon, and so the gods gave them time to escape and granted them a wish, and then wiped that town off the map. Some
Really?
say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
I mean, it's a nice story, but it doesn't really fit this situation because they rewarded the people who were good to them and punished the wrongdoers, whereas this is the innocent get punished no matter what kind of situation. But it's a nice story with a nice moral.
I'm pleased to hear it.
What about the status of the election? Anything you can enlighten me on?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger.
Malleolus.
Why do you ask?
Malleolus. Sorry, just ignore me saying Malleolus out loud. I'm just trying to memorize the pronunciation. Malleolus. That'll do. Who's allowed to vote in this election then?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Wait, women can't vote here then?
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain.
To remain
I can't
impartial.
allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent. But
I
if it's any
understand.
consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Such as, you make that sound as if you have a few ideas of how to do it.
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Okay, you don't have any ideas then. Can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
So could I stand for election? What's your role in it, then? You're the adjudicator, I guess? The administrator?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
The returning officer. I don't want to start the election now. Let's talk about something else.
Certainly.
And you know what? Let's not talk about anything at all. I'm gonna get going. I've got a few things to do.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbours.
I will do. Right, let's finish investigating the market. I want to see if anybody... You can't move. Which... It's always the same voice that's speaking to me. But which statue is it coming from? Right. Market. Let's finish investigating around here. See if anybody saw what happened to Virgil. A circular loaf of bread designed to be... Oh. Designed to be pulled apart into wedges. It appears to be freely available to anyone who wants it. Okay. Okay, maybe not all of that bread. A Roman recipe for bread. A generous pinch of yeast, salt, warm water, flour. I don't really think this is relevant. We'll leave it. Who knows? Maybe referencing that might catch somebody out in something. I don't know. A stone mill. Looks like the flour and grain are poured in from above and ground between the stones and as the handles are rotated. That is a very big stone. Was that here when they arrived, I wonder? Or did they put that together themselves? Wait, is it getting dark already, or is it just the light? It doesn't reach in the cavern very easily. Hello? Okay, that's locked, so I'm not getting in there. Things to buy once I've escaped. Villa on Aventine, or on the Aventine, Rome. A 2-horse chariot, a seat on the buying a seat in the Senate. A 4-horse chariot. A villa on the Bay of Nepal, or Naples. A 10-horse chariot. 12 slave girls, pale and okay. Whoever this guy is. First of all, bit of a scumbag. But second of all, seem to be quite keen to get out of here. Another sculpture of Minerva, the Roman goddess of strategy. I hear like a sword sharpening. Let's hop over here. I did not do it. Julie. Oh, that was the guy from the sewers? Or the scavenger in the sewers? Oh, this is it. Julius, commoner, unable to work, slum, imprisoned in the warehouse. What was that for again? Was that for... Oh. Hello.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Julius, right? What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do, apparently?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
And somebody thought you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Were you just looking?
They said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Yeah, sure. Pass it here. Magistrate Sentius to Julius. I'm writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behaviour arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you the important message: the treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community, and you must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated, should you experience further lapses in memory. Using very big words like this is not going to help this poor man.
What does it say?
It says that they caught you trespassing and they locked you up just to be safe so they didn't break the golden rule.
My treasure.
This treasure? What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
She is. If you give me the key, though, I could try find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate. I'll see what I can do.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Well, I really am starting to have doubts about the current magistrate, but I could always just break you out. I mean, this is all in my head. There's no repercussions.
What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
Maybe it's time we had a new magistrate then, but does committing, extend rather to breaking you out of a cage?
Like, Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Way up high and very precious. I'll see what I can do. What do you think about the Golden Rule? What do you make of all this?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Oh, no. Never mind. I'll get going.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. At least I know we won't be going anywhere. Galerius. Where will we find this Galerius? Let's go back here. I want to keep heading up the street.
Help! You have to do something!
Hello?
A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
I don't have a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
Oh, I'll get right on it. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere.
In the
I have to
bathhouse?
hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
No. Don't go in the shrine.
What? Why?
Just trust me. Don't go in the shrine.
All right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
Why am I? What? Who? Which bakery? The one I took the bread from? Was that bread for free?
Fabia, but now's not the time.
Yep. Okay. No. Good point. I have to check out that shrine. Is this the bathhouse? Wait. The election's happening. This is where I came from. Oh! Oh my god! Oh! That spooked me. Game. Oh, there we are. I can hear talking, but I don't...
Stop right
Oh.
there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
Quintius. I don't know a Quintius.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire.
Oh.
So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood?
Got it.
Thank you.
Understand.
Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
We're just a small community of strangers who wound up here by accident. I know it's far-fetched, but that's the truth.
A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
No, I'm not. We're not cultists. What? Awesome. What mystery cult are you talking about?
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered.
Oh, we're not cultists. You've got the wrong idea.
You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
I'm still looking for a way out. We're all trapped in here.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave?
No. It's not like we are not allowed. We physically can't. There's no way out.
Threatening me is not going to help you.
I'm not
But in
threatening
any
you.
case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
It's not a mantra. It's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
I know this sounds insane, but they were once people and they were turned into gold as punishment. Look how perfect these statues are. They are human. You can't possibly make statues like this in this day and age.
You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
No. Oh my. You were distorting on purpose what I said.
Yes, because I'm the real villain here.
Apparently
It's
so.
all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
They just can't see what they've
What
become.
was
However, you
that?
still have a chance to redeem yourself.
What? No.
By telling me where Quintius is.
What's
Do
happening
not
back
waste
there?
it.
I have no idea where this Quintius is.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
You no idea what you're in for.
You'd squander your last words on an empty threat.
I'm really
Now
worried
it's
about what's
my
going on
turn
back
to tell
there.
you something. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates.
Look,
And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
I don't think this is a time for monologuing.
Son of this.
What are you... Oh, they're looking at me. The statues have eyes. And they're looking at me. Did they... Oh God. Oh, no, don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. They're firing at me. They want me dead. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, I don't want to die here. Oh, this hallucination is going too lifelike for me. Run, run, run. This was the way, wasn't it? Oh, no. Just keep running. I'm supposed to meet him here, right? This is where the human remains were. Oh, am I bleeding? Hello? No, this isn't the right way. Is it the right... I think it is the right way. Oh, God. Oh, I'm scared. I don't like this. Tentius? He's already performed the ritual.